It is the last day of E3 2016. My name is Jake, I'm here with Alex, and we just played some Gwent.
Yeah, we did. Gwent is pretty cool.
So for the uninitiated, Gwent is a game you can play in The Witcher 3, and they're making a standalone game, something that I've wanted for a long time. What did you think of it?
So the Gwent game is now, it's a multiplayer game, so you can actually play against other people, which is something that's been pretty requested because Gwent is awesome.
Thousands of emails, apparently.
Yes,
They've gotten thousands of emails to get its own game.
Right, so when you're playing against someone, it's pretty much like the Gwent in the game, with like in The Witcher 3, with some cool animations and new art and stuff. But what I thought was super interesting is that they're not just making it like a Hearthstone clone. They're actually putting in this really robust single player with a whole bunch of campaigns that they say there's going to be 4 of them. They're all going to be 10 plus hours long. It looks really cool.
Yeah, so there's one for each of the 4 factions, and you're probably wondering, 4? Isn't there 5 now? One of them didn't make it. Which one was it?
So that was the Nilfgaardian faction, and they actually told me specifically they are planning to bring it at some point. They're still working on balance. It's going to come a ways down the road.
Yeah, it's too overpowered, I think, is kind of what they were saying.
Exactly. So I actually think one of the most interesting parts about this game is that there's this open world overworld. Like, you actually take control of a character and walk around. It's sort of top down. In the presentation I saw, you're playing as Geralt. And you walk around, and through this world you can find different events to do and encounters to explore, and you get cards from that, actually, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like what was in The Witcher 3 with finding Gwent cards throughout the world.
Yeah, and apparently you're not just Geralt throughout this game. You can be different characters. I'm guessing it depends on which faction you choose.
Yeah, and each faction has its own leader, which is the leader card in Gwent. And that leader, they told me the story's going to be more like that leader going through the world and building up an army. And so the Gwent cards really are your soldiers in that army, and they all have personalities and they all have dialogue, and it's all fully voiced. It looks beautiful, and it looks super interesting as well.
One thing that I was kind of concerned about was that in The Witcher 3, by the end of the game, you become overpowered. You have pretty much all the cards you need to win. How are they going to balance this for the game? So when I played, it seemed like it was definitely more balanced, but still, like,
right.
It seems like it's going to be tougher. How does it differ from the main game?
The single player side is completely separate from the competitive multiplayer side, so you're building your deck through the single player differently than you are in the competitive multiplayer side. And they didn't really talk much about how they're going to balance the single player side, but it made it sound like things will scale with you. As your army becomes bigger, then you'll encounter better armies, you know, that sort of thing. So, and then on the competitive multiplayer side, obviously they're balancing that like a, you know, competitive collectible card game. So.
Great, so that's Gwent. You can pick it up in September, and the beta should be available soonish, right?
So the beta is in September.
The beta is in September,
yeah,
for Xbox One and PC.
And the PS4 one is coming later.
And for more on E3 2016, make sure to stay tuned to GameSpot. See you soon.